Good Thursday, everyone. Thanks for stopping by. Garden State Weather and GardenStateWeather.blogspot.com providing superior forecasting for the northern mid-Atlantic region 24 hours a day. I'm forecaster Robert Smith. We've got Arctic air on the way and wind chills on the way. It's going to rival some of the coldest air that we've seen in many years. This is the video forecast discussion for Thursday, the 19th of February, 2015. Walking out the door this morning, all I can tell you is you're going to need to layer it up, and you're going to need to layer it up for the next 36, 48 hours or so as cold Arctic air continues to plunge into the metropolitan area. We use that word loosely as well. Temperatures this morning are generally running in the teens, some single digits over in the northwestern Jersey area, and the wind gusts are howling into the teens and low 20s. Wind gust out on the water now and south of New York City's Long Island into the upper 20s and lower 30s, making the wind chill values feel like 0 to 5 degrees below zero this morning, all under partly cloudy skies to fair skies at this time. Notice all the cold air still building across Pennsylvania and upstate New York here in the lower Hudson Valley, the interior central valleys as well, where temperatures are in the single digits and below zero this morning in some locations as well. Watches, warnings, and advisories for the Pocono region. We basically have wind chill advisories and wind chill warnings. The wind chill advisory in effect until tonight, and that's overtaken by a wind chill warning for the entire region for the next 26 hours. Across New Jersey, the same kind of thing. Wind chill advisories through the next 27 hours. This extends all the way back into Pennsylvania as well, where the wind chill advisories will be in effect. So it's bone-chilling cold air, and we've got marine warnings here too. On the marine weather deck, we have marine warnings here. If we can pull this up. Here we go. We have heavy freezing spray advisory and a warning rather, and a gale warning in effect. All of these over the next 27 hours. Basically right around this region here we have gale warnings for basically winds gusting at 35 knots, a few 40 knot gusts in the Delaware Bay and off the New Jersey coast. And we'll see moderate freezing spray today. Not to issue a freezing spray advisory, though, with a bigger threat being tonight. The freezing spray watch may be converted directly to a warning, with heavy freezing spray supported by all of the latest model guidance. On Friday, northwest winds gusting to 35 knots, diminishing through the morning as high pressure builds in across the region. Freezing spray, some moderate to heavy ice-free areas, and a gale warning remaining in effect. Friday night and Saturday, sub-small craft advisories and winds, and we ramp it up with building small craft advisories again Saturday night, some southerly small craft advisory gust on Sunday, and then some northwesterly small craft advisory gust on Monday. So very complicated and busy forecast. Much of the Delaware Bay actually is covered by ice, and we'll begin adding phasing on ice-free waters for the first 4-hour periods of the forecast coming up. Morning chart from WeatherONoak.com and Digital Atmosphere Software shows the Arctic front has moved directly through the region. We have a couple of trough axes here still to move through the region, and as they do, each one of these will introduce even colder shots of air through the region from this afternoon through tonight and tomorrow. Visible pass of the satellite imagery this morning shows clear to partly cloudy fair weather across the region. Not much lifting going on in the atmosphere, is a little bit with this trough axis is here still to our west, and that's just as an indication of just colder air pouring into the New Jersey, New York City metropolitan area, actually throughout all of the East Coast. In fact, temperatures this morning, there's a freeze warning down here for Miami for tonight and tomorrow morning too. So everybody along the East Coast is being affected by this Arctic blast of cold air that is infiltrating across the entire region. We didn't have any measurable snow last night, but we did find a couple of snow squalls and lines that moved directly through the region from Pennsylvania into New Jersey, just creating a dusting of snow on the ground in many locations and covering complete rooftops as well, and car tops. And this will give you an idea of just how cold it is across the eastern United States, east of the Continental Divide here. Basically, we have freeze warnings all the way down into Florida. Red flag warnings, freeze warnings, wind chill warnings, all just a very bitterly cold air across the region. And much of the nation today is covered by Arctic air. Look at these temperatures here over the upper Midwest. Temperatures 18, 20 degrees below zero this morning. Temperatures on the other side of the lakes here into Canada near Ontario, 34 degrees below zero. That's just bone-chilling cold. If you want any saving graces here, it's not too warm down in Miami this morning, actually at 51 degrees. It's very cold air all over the eastern United States. And when the Arctic front came through, there were some dollops of snow here, 1 to 2 inch ranges here in central Pennsylvania with a squall line Basically, everything came through pretty much dry. Had a little bit of light snow that reached the ground and coated things very nicely around rush hour last evening, and a little bit more of that snow reaching as this front moved through and off the New England coast late last night, early this morning. And here's one of the lobes of the polar vortex south of Hudson's Bay, Canada. It's part of the lobe. It's not the complete lobe, but it's definitely a mother lode of Arctic air in place across the region, with all these vortexes working through the region, just adding to the cold and wind chills as these disturbances make their way through the region. On the aviational weather deck for today, VFR today and tonight, the main story will be the breezy west to northwest winds. Expect gusts to 25 to 30 knots to develop by mid-morning and continue throughout the afternoon. Occasional gusts to 30 knots are possible through tonight, and they may continually do so during the afternoon and evening hours as well. Friday and Friday night, VFR northwest winds gust up to 20 knots Friday morning, diminishing in the afternoon. Saturday and Saturday night conditions deteriorating to MVFR and IFR Saturday night, with a mix of rain and snow changing to rain. Some freezing rain stills north and west of Allentown and Reading. Winds gradually shifting southerly by Saturday. Some speeds of low-level wind shear are possible too. Sunday, VFR and IFR conditions and rain. Some speed low-level wind shear is possible still, and improving conditions to VFR with lingering chance of light snow on Monday morning. Right now, outside of Newark International, it's 14 degrees, dew point 0, humidity 52%. The wind is out of the west at 14. There's a few clouds around 3,500. The wind chill -1. The story today will be the strong gusty northwesterly winds moving into the region. And for Philadelphia, it's 13 right now, dew point 1 degrees Fahrenheit below 0, humidity 53%. The wind is northwest 18, already gusting to 30. And basically a west wind there, and making the air feel like 4 degrees below 0 on the tarmacs this morning, and the gusty west winds and northwest winds increasing to better than 25 to 30 knots during this afternoon and evening. VFR conditions in place. Morning run of the HRR model shows a mixture of cloud and flurry activity racing through the region during this afternoon. Widely scattered snow showers across the region, with broken ceilings and cloud cover as the Arctic air begins to plunge into the metropolitan area. A series of these troughs of the Arctic air moving into the region. Temperatures today into the low and mid-teens across the region early this afternoon, before plunging back into the single digits, and they're 0 by late tonight. In fact, we could have temperatures in northwestern New Jersey, the Poconos, and also parts of the Hudson River Valley by early this evening at below 0 here, with temperatures in the single digits everywhere else. Noticing a trend on the newest model run from the 12-kilometer model run of the NAM, basically showing the snow breaking out across the region on Saturday afternoon and Saturday evening, transitioning over to freezing rain and sleet over the interior sections, rain on the coast, and then it brings the precipitation into the form of snow and ice over the interior valleys. Could have a couple of inches here before and mixing with the changeover timing on Sunday morning. And then just rain from coastal Connecticut down through New York City and Long Island and Philadelphia on Sunday morning. And then the NAM model just cuts everything off by 12Z Sunday into central and southern New Jersey as rain, with absolutely very little precipitation falling to the north and west. This is not in the consensus with the 0Z model run from last night, and it's not in consensus with the global model trend either. So we use this morning's 6C run of the GFS as an example of the cold Arctic air in place, the dry conditions, snow flurries today, and then out. Here comes the main snow, isentropic lift event developing on Saturday afternoon, spreading into from the southwest to the northeast across the region, mainly as snow. It's cold enough for snow on Saturday night, and transition rapidly in the 850 millibar temperatures to make it go to rain from central and southern New Jersey. A little bit of icing here in northeastern New Jersey, snow on the interior side here west of 80 and into 78 and north and west of there, and everything transitions to just rain rapidly on Sunday morning before you wake up. The snow and ice is now into your northwestern corridor here, away from our forecast region, and the model guidance continues to suggest that this will continue to be a rain event for most of the day on Sunday, before ending from west to east with another Arctic front passing through the region. Cold and blustery conditions returning, with dry conditions returning for Monday and Tuesday. And here comes the next system. The model guidance continues to trend with a drier forecast now for Tuesday versus last night. Here comes another trough across the region. This would be for late Tuesday night, early Wednesday morning. And as this moves through, it keeps the energy and connection here along the coast. There could be some kind of an inverted trough here. We'll have to watch this to make sure that this is going to mean chances of precipitation increasing across the region. Basically, over the interior sections, this doesn't look right to me right yet. So we're going to monitor this situation closely. Canadian model guidance suggests that there could be a secondary wave developing on the front. Here comes the light snow on Sunday night, Saturday night, Sunday morning. Notice here on this model guidance, the area of low pressure is well to the west, cutting through the Great Lakes and then the St. Lawrence River Valley here, with the primary low over this location crossing over the lakes here, lee side of the lakes here, means a warmer trend with rain, moderate to heavy, under an inch across the region on Sunday morning, and then it moves that and cold front through the region. The front stalls out, and in a second area of low pressure develops along the front, brings back the chance of rain on Monday morning, central and southern portions, and then changes it to a mixture right along the coast and in the city. And this is a possibility, too, that we'll be monitoring for Monday afternoon, and then that dries it out. Here comes the next system here on the model guidance, with cold air leaving the metropolitan area on Tuesday morning. This is where a storm could be developing along the coast. The Canadian model guidance and to some extent the Ensemble and European model guidance also continue to show that this is a threat for Tuesday night and Wednesday, with snow breaking out to the north. And this coastal storm has to be monitored very closely, could be providing another strong dumping of snow out over the Cape. Through 7 a.m. on Sunday, this is the latest from the National Weather Service up to New York, Long Island. Snow here on the upper sides of 4 to 6 inches across the interior of Connecticut, southern shores of Connecticut 3 to 4, 2 to 3 inches in the New Jersey, New York City metropolitan area, 1 to 2 inches out on Long Island. This is preliminary through 7 a.m. on Sunday. The National Weather Service in northern New Jersey or Philadelphia is not updating the proper graphics. The technicians are working on that as they're switching to a new AWIPS 2 system. Well, lo and behold, the technicians have fixed that problem, and now we're getting the newest amounts here coming in for northwestern New Jersey, anywhere from 1 to 2 to 3 inches. Highest amounts where the snow ratios are the coldest or the highest here over northwestern New Jersey. Lesser amounts as you go through central New Jersey and southern New Jersey. Again, this is preliminary through 7 a.m. on Sunday before everything goes to rain. This is all snow and ice before everything goes to rain. Latest last night's runs of the European model, the GFS, and the Canadian model guidance all showing the same thing. Positive PNA here off the west coast. Deep troughing with our polar vortex here, with one lobe here north of the Hudson Bay, the other lobe south of the Hudson Bay on all model guidance, indicating very cold Arctic air will remain in place over the next 10 days. So along with the Arctic air and bone-chilling cold that's in place, and wind chill advisories and freezing pipes and ice on the rivers, if you want to go out this weekend and celebrate the polar bear plunge at Seaside, it's celebrating its return to Seaside Heights on February 21st. And it looks forward to surpassing the record year of 2012, where over 5,900 people braved the cold and enjoyed the day of the Jersey Shore's iconic boardwalk. Registration begins at 9 a.m. with the plunge scheduled at 1 p.m. Radio stations Big Joe Henry at 101.5. The voice of the plunge broadcast live from the site of the plunge with interviews, updates, and the countdown to plunge. You won't want to miss it. Well, I certainly will, because I will be nice and toasty in the Weather Center on Sunday morning. We'll be monitoring all the weather for you as well live from Garden State Weather, gardenstateweather.blogspot.com, Twitter, Facebook, and Google+. Have a pleasant and extremely warm Thursday.